Hello dear students. So now today again we are going to continue with a very important chapter, that is of social responsibilities and business ethics. Okay. So in this chapter we have already seen about the definition parts, about the features, importance of social responsibilities, and we have already seen comments in the favor of social responsibilities and comments against the social responsibilities. And we have already seen the different social responsibilities of the business organizations. Okay. So now here in today's class, we are going to discuss the social responsibilities of the business organization towards different interest group. So before we start our discussion over this topic, before that we have to find out parties or the group who are directly or indirectly related to the business organizations. Then only we can find out the responsibilities of the business organization. So here uh, we can take an example. There was a there was an organization named XYZ, and they produce different type of the furniture items. Okay, and they were located just in the village area. So first they are using natural resources, like for the making of furnitures they were required wood and iron. Okay, so all those things they can easily get from forest, and iron they can purchase from the factories somewhere else. So what how many users are there, or the different parties who are directly or indirectly related with that business organization? So first and the very important thing, a person or the person who invest their capital in such a type of the business organization, they are called owner or they are called investors. So they are the direct beneficiary of that business organization. So the first and the very important group or the party of business organization, that is of owner, we can say, or the investors, we can say, or in the companies, in case of companies, they are called shareholders. Okay, so in general terms we call them as a owner or the investors, but in broader term they are called shareholders. Then after that, although person who work for that business organizations, they are called employees. They are directly related to that business organization. Then whatever goods they produce, that is ultimately consumed by the customers. So customers are directly or indirectly they are related to that business organization. And all the supply chain, just like those who have provided them financial assistance, that is of bank. Then those who provide them materials, raw materials, okay, they are called suppliers or the creditors. They are related. And once when any company get profit, they need to pay some taxes. So definitely government authorities or the tax authorities, they are related. And government, of course government, because sometimes government provide different type of grants or the financial assistance to that kind of the business organization. Okay, so all these are the parties who are directly or indirectly related to the business organization. So this is the responsibility of business organization to work for their welfare also. Okay, so how? So here first, social responsibility towards different interest group. So first we are going to see the responsibility of business organization towards the shareholders or the owner of the business organization. So what is the responsibility of business organizations towards their shareholders or the owners? Owners or shareholders, they invest their huge capital in the business organization to enjoy sufficient profit. So this is the responsibility of business organization to provide adequate profit or the return to the shareholders or the owner of the business organization, which can motivate them to invest more and more capital in the business organizations, because only profit is the thing which motivate owners and shareholders. And along with that, providing maximum profit, they need to provide the safety of their invested capital. If we are not able to provide adequate profit, then at least we have to provide things that can save their investment in the business organization. Okay. Second, that is of we have responsible towards our workers, towards our employees, because without employees business organizations are nothing. Because if we are saying, we can say employees are the blood for any business organization. If employees are not there in the business organization, then it will be just only the structure. So here all the business organization have some responsibility towards their workers. They have to provide adequate opportunities to the worker. Okay. And they should be engaged in meaningful work only, and they need to try to create the right kind of working condition. Okay. This is our responsibility to provide proper working condition in which our employees can perform their duties or their task properly, and we have to provide them sufficient opportunity to grow in our business organization, like uh, increments, like promotions and all. Okay. After that, we have responsibility towards the consumer, because consumers, they are the last and ultimate person or the group who consume goods of the business organization. So we must know all the consumers pay some considerations for getting goods or the services just to fulfill their needs or the demands, and they used to pay 100% of the amount. So this is the responsibility of business organization to satisfy their consumers or their customers by providing their services or by their goods. Okay. So here we do not have to just provide goods and services, we have to ensure the proper supply of the goods. Okay. So here, supply of right quality and quantity of goods and services to consumers at reasonable price constitutes the responsibility of an enterprise towards its consumers. Enterprise must take proper precautions against adulterations, poor quality, lack of desired services, advertising, and so on. So now this is the responsibility of business organization. They do not have to all do alternate adulteration in their product, and they have to do good advertisement. They do not have to use false statement or the wrong things in their advertisement on and all. These are the responsibility of the business organizations towards their customer or the consumers. The next responsibility of the business organization, that is towards the government and the community, it means the society. So here, an enterprises must respect the law of the country. Each and every country have some law regarding the business organization, regarding the business activities, which should be followed by all the business organization. So an enterprises must respect the laws of the country, and they have to pay their taxes regularly and honestly, and it must behave as a good citizen and act according to the well accepted value of the society. So here, as a business organizations, we are using our natural resources. Our country has allowed us to do business activities here, so accordingly we have to respect the law of that country, and accordingly we have to pay all the taxes, and we have to follow all the rules or the regulations given by the government, as well as we have to respect the social values of our citizens. Okay. Just like if uh, again, we can take an example of KFC. When KFC start their functioning in India, at the very beginning they were used to provide just only the non-veg products, but later on when they comes to know the actual social ethics of the citizens of India, then they offered some veg foods also. So this is the thing, if we are working somewhere else, then we have to respect their cultures, their demands, their social values, and accordingly we have to treat. Okay. It must protect the natural environment and should avoid bad effluent, smoky chimneys, ugly buildings, dirty working conditions, and all these are other things. Okay, so along with this, we have to provide proper working condition to our employees, and we do not have to increase lot of pollutions. We must try to control pollutions. Okay, then after that we have business and environmental protections. As we have seen, the social responsibilities of the business organizations towards different group. Then after business and environmental protections are there, the environment is defined as the totality of man's surrounding, both natural and man-made. Okay, so and if we are talking about the environmental protection, so first we have to find out the meaning of environment or the environmental. So environmental, it means each and everything which directly or indirectly affect us and we affect them, that is of environment, just like weather, climate, seasons. Okay, sunlight, forest, these are the elements of environment and we need to protect them. So here we have to discuss over the environmental pollution or environmental protections, how we can do all those things. The environment is defined as the totality of man's surrounding, both natural and man-made. The resources may also be called natural resources, like we have land, water, air, fauna and flora, and raw materials, okay, or man-made resources such as cultural heritage, social economical institutions and the people. So we use two different type of resources as natural resources, and second one is human resources or man-made resources. It is widely recognized that the quality of environment is fast deteriorating, particularly due to the industrial activity in various states in our country. Their emissions are seriously affecting the health of the people. So here we can see in Delhi, most of the industries are situated in the Delhi, or if we are talking about any kind of industrial area that is most polluted. If we are looking about the Noida and Ghaziabad side, so most of the big industries are there, big manufacturing companies are there. So that's why all the areas are very polluted. Okay, because all the industries they release different type of the pollutants, just like air pollution, that is very normal thing, water wastage, okay, and solid wastage and all, so which affect our environment at very large levels. So we need to protect them. If we are not going to protect them, then definitely it will be very serious condition. So we can see a latest example. Now we all are aware about Delhi, that is included in the most polluted cities in the world, but just because of the COVID-19, in during that, the pollution level in Delhi was very low. It means it was that we can say there was no pollution. But right now, just because of unlocking process, again same situations are going to repeat. So we need to protect our environment. If we are not going to protect, so that particular natural resource will lost their value. Similarly, if we are talking about Delhi, then we can say about the Yamuna rivers, okay, which was almost lost their existence in some areas. But right now, just because of the COVID-19, in most of the areas it was very clean and it was up to the label. It means directly without making any filter and all, we can consume that water. Okay. So let's next. So here we have first and first of all we have to discuss over the pollution. What is pollution? because we have already studied about the pollution in our previous classes, and we are continuous doing our discussion over this topic. So, pollution, the injections of harmful substance into the environment, is in fact largely the result of industrial production. Pollution changes the physical, chemical, and biological characteristics of air, land, and water. So, what while pollutions are nothing, pollutions are the substance which change the chemicals, gaseous, or water forms. Okay, and pollutions harms human life and the life of other species. Simply, अगर हम लोग we have just only the air, water and soil pollutions. Along with this, in the case of soil, water pollutions, we have seen जो समुद्र में जो ओशियंस में जो बड़ी बड़ी फिशेज होती हैं, नाउ दे आर डाइंग जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ आवर मिस्टेक्स. Because if we are talking about the oil tankers, if that leakage and all, so the oil or the things whatever was there in that ship, it can be float over the surface of ocean. So the animals or the fishes and all, they can't breathe properly. Okay, and whatever wastage we used to throw in the oceans, okay, or whatever things we used to dump in the ocean or the sea, and with that all also affect the life of the different species. So here pollution exists because the environment can absorb only a limited amount of pollutants and wastes. Some hazardous waste or toxic products and chemicals are termed as hazardous pollutants because they have toxic characteristics and the environment cannot assimilate pollution, thus causes risks to environmental quality, human health, and damage to natural and man-made resources. Okay, these are the things and which we have to take very seriously. So as we know, different type of pollutants are there which pollute the environment, and it can pollute our air, our water and our land structures. Okay, so all the elements which pollute our environment, they are called pollutants, and in all the pollutants, some pollutants are very hazardous, that is called toxic in nature, which can't be observed by the nature, they are called hazardous pollutants. So we have to save our nation by all the pollutants. So here first we have to find out the causes of pollution, what are the reasons of pollution. All sectors of our society, just like industry, government, agriculture, mining, energy, transportations, constructions, and consumer generated waste, these all are the waste or the materials or the pollutants which directly or indirectly affect our environment. Okay, just like if you're talking about the first of the industries, that is wider source of the pollutions because all the industries release lot of smokes. And next one we have government, some activities which are done by the government that also affect the environment. Agriculture, during the agricultural activities, whatever pesticides we use, whatever fertilizers we use, that directly or indirectly pollutes our land or soil, our air and as well as the water, because whatever fertilizers we throw in the field, ultimately just it during the monsoon it floats in the rivers or the canals, or directly indirectly it comes to our body. And during the agricultural activities, at the last we used to burn the waste of the crops, that pollutes our air as well as our soil. Then next we have mining. All the mining activities pollutes our environment. Just during the mining activities, lot of smokes released from there or dust released there, which flow throughout the environment. The next we have energy. All the energy producing areas, especially we can say here in our in Chapa we have a power plant, and that power plant release lot of smoke, and even we can't take proper breath in that. What is there now? Okay, then after that we have transportations, that is another important source. Nowadays we can see every person have lot of vehicles and road is filled with trucks or the automobile sectors, so that release lot of smokes or release lot of smokes in the environment. So this is the biggest reason of the air pollution. And then as well as constructions, during the constructions we can see noise pollutions are there, and air pollutions are there. Okay, and somehow we are responsible just because of the consumer generated waste. We are the biggest reason of the environmental pollutions. Just like we use different type of the polybags that we use to dump or that we use to throw somewhere else, that is the biggest reason of the soil pollutions, air pollution, and the waste of our houses that we use to through release through the sewage system, that also pollute the air. So these are the reasons. So first we have seen what are the causes of the pollutions. If we are aware about the causes, then only we can take the action to cover up. So here business activities, as we have already seen, such as the production, distribution, transportation, storage, consumption of goods and services. These are the critical source of environmental pollution problems. Many business enterprises have many responsible for causing, just like air, water, land, and the noise pollution. Air pollution. Air pollution is the result of combination of factors which lowers the air quality. So if we are going to discuss over the air pollution, so air pollutions are nothing, any kind of pollutants which change the mixture of gases in the atmosphere. Okay, so any kind of pollutants or the element which will change the gaseous mixture in the environment will be conditions at the environmental pollution. It is mainly due to the carbon monoxide emitted by the automobiles which contributes to air pollution. Similarly, smoke and other chemicals from manufacturing plants and pollute the air. Resulting air pollution has creating a hole in the ozone layer, and you all are most probably aware about the ozone layer depletion. Okay, leading to the dangerous warming to the earth. So we needed to try to minimize the use of automobile, minimize the use of AC. Okay, so we need to contribute something for the welfare of the society. Try to reduce the use of poly bags. You must, if you are going to purchase anything from the market, try to carry out some carry bags. Okay, then next we have water pollution. Water becomes polluted primarily from chemical and waste dumping. For years, business enterprises have been dumping waste into the rivers. That we know. Especially we are talking about just like in our country, Ganga, that is called Holy River, and we all are aware about the importance of Ganga River. So just because of the different type of industries, those who are located beside of Ganga rivers, they were using to pollute Ganga at very large level. If we are talking about the leather industry in India that is located in the Kanpur, so most probably all the waste of that industries were thrown into the river of Ganga. So it was the biggest reason. If whenever you will search and whenever you will find out where is Ganga highest polluted, maximum polluted, so locations will be of Kanpur. But right now, just because of the Ganga Clean Mission, government has taken different steps, and they have most probably they have shifted all the leather industries far from that particular place, and they are making proper treatment before the releasing the waste of all the plants. Okay, so here little regards of the consequences. Water pollution has led to the death of several animals and posted a serial threat to human life. So we are not only we are the responsible, along with us nature is also responsible for the water pollutions, just like the floods. Whenever floods comes, all the places where we used to dump all those things, or the most probably all the animals वो सब rivers में flow करते हैं, बेचारे death हो जाते हैं. That is the reasons of water pollution.